Have you ever found yourself struggling with life feeling busy, stressful, or repetitive? Your relationship is growing distant, and somehow your sex life seems to have lost its spark too. Or perhaps your relationship is good, but the excitement you once felt around sexual intimacy just isn't there anymore. What if the issue isn't simply desire? What if excitement itself is an essential ingredient of sexual well being? Hello, and welcome to Ask a Sex Therapist, a space where we explore sexuality, intimacy, relationships, and sexual well being with curiosity, compassion, and evidence based understanding. I'm Justine Gilliland, a sex therapist and counselor, and in today's episode, we're exploring the question: why doesn't sex feel exciting anymore? The ability to experience excitement in life is critical not only for overall well being, but also has an essential role to play in sexual well being. When it comes to sexual well being, excitement contributes to desire and arousal. Desire and arousal are distinct but deeply connected and inseparable components in sexual functioning. Desire is the mental interest in sexual activity as the anticipation of sexual pleasure or the response to sexual pleasure. Arousal is the pleasurable experience of mental and physical excitement for sexual activity. Arousal, both the physical and mental experience of sexual excitement, is not always limited to excitement from sexual cues. Arousal can come from the relationship itself, from being attracted to your partner not only physically, but as a person to be excited by. Arousal can come from touch that is pleasurable, enjoyable, stimulating, and erotic. It is important to remember that subjective mental and physical arousal is key. In other words, it is the person receiving the touch who determines whether that touch is enjoyable or not. So, what is the relationship between desire and arousal? Sometimes desire comes before arousal. Desire comes before arousal when someone is anticipating and thinking about sexual pleasure. In this process of thinking about sex as pleasurable, and then possibly acting sexually from these thoughts, the mind and body become excited or aroused to engage in sexual activity. This might sound like, I'm thinking about how good it would feel to be sexual with you, so I want to have sex with you. And now that I'm thinking about it more, I'm starting to feel turned on. Desire sometimes follows arousal. Desire can follow arousal when pleasurable mental and physical excitement is already present. For example, being excited by seeing your partner in their zone after having a night filled with laughter, kissing each other passionately, or enjoying a sensual back rub. When this pleasurable mental and physical excitement occurs, interest in sexual activity follows. This might sound like, I'm really enjoying the way you're kissing me. This is turning me on. Now I'm thinking about how good it would feel to be sexual with you. Arousal is absolutely critical to desire, especially in the experience of responsive desire, where desire follows arousal. Arousal feels pleasurable, and if desire can respond to pleasure, we need to amplify pleasure. One way to amplify pleasure is to specifically amplify the excitement within arousal. How does excitement apply to sexual arousal? A significant barrier to sexual arousal may be that excitement is diminished more broadly in your life. This might be true if you are feeling cramped or even suffocated by daily stresses, anxiety, or depression. Maybe you feel lost in yourself, disconnected in your relationship, and this overall sense of missing excitement translates into the bedroom. For others, a lack of excitement in general life can place unrealistic pressure on sex to become the saving or rescuing source of excitement. Sex becomes a form of escapism from the blandness of everyday life. This unrealistic pressure on sex can amplify the urge towards sex, leading to greater frustration and disappointment when sex falls short of this impossible standard. That same pressure can also be felt by a partner as demanding, which inherently drains excitement for them. The answer for both scenarios is to cultivate excitement across multiple domains of life and within your overall relationship. With this focus on amplifying excitement, it is worth asking yourself, when was the last time you felt excited by your partner? When was the last time you felt excitement for your partner? When was the last time you did something exciting? When was the last time you felt genuinely excited? How do you cultivate a life of excitement? How do you cultivate a relationship with excitement? How does my personal well-being impact sexual intimacy? Excitement is not something we sustain 100% of the time because that simply isn't realistic or sustainable. However, it is an important ingredient in our overall well-being, including our sexual well-being. It might be possible that if excitement is lacking generally and individually, it becomes difficult to generate and build excitement together in your relationship and within sexual activity. Sometimes the first steps towards greater sexual well-being are actually your personal well-being. Sexual excitement may flow from intentionally cultivating excitement and pleasure in your daily life, then within your relationship, and finally within the bedroom. What if it's the sex that isn't exciting? There are, of course, times where your answer might be, my life is exciting, my partner excites me, but I can't seem to find that excitement in sexual activity. If this is the case, it is important to understand what is hitting the brakes on sexual arousal. Is it stress? Is it the meaning that sex has come to hold? For example, has sex become a chore, a duty, an obligation, or a pressure? Is it general exhaustion? Negative past experiences around sex? Even negative beliefs about sex? Or has sex simply become routine or boring? The reasons are incredibly varied and unique for each individual. These barriers need to be understood and actively addressed for arousal to have the freedom to emerge. These constraints suffocate excitement. What does exciting sex look like? Exciting sex is sex that is pleasurable. And what is pleasurable depends entirely on the individuals within that consensual sexual relationship. I want to make it very clear that sexual excitement is not necessarily about a new toy, a new position, new lingerie, or a new location. While these may certainly be things that some people genuinely find pleasurable and exciting sex can also be found in deeply meaningful, intimate, loving, slow, and sensual sexual experiences. The question is not whether your sex life looks exciting to someone else. The question is, are you experiencing the type of pleasurable sex that you want to experience? If not, what is getting in the way? So, how can sex therapy help? Sex therapy can help you understand what creates excitement in your unique sexual relationship, and perhaps more importantly, what diminishes it. Together, we explore the biological, psychological, relational, behavioral, and social factors that shape your experience of desire and arousal. This includes identifying what activates your sexual accelerators and what applies the brakes to excitement. We also explore the meaning that sex has come to hold within your relationship. Has sex become associated with pressure, obligation, performance, conflict, or disappointment? Or does it remain a place of curiosity, pleasure, connection, and playfulness? Sometimes the work is about introducing more novelty and excitement into sexual intimacy itself. Other times, it is about rebuilding excitement within the relationship or in your own life more broadly. Sexual excitement rarely exists in isolation. It is often nurtured by the overall quality of our well-being, our relationships, and the lives we are living. I offer online sex therapy across Australia, supporting individuals and couples experiencing difficulties with desire, arousal, intimacy, and sexual well-being. Thank you for listening to Ask a Sex Therapist. This podcast is a space where I'll be exploring common questions and themes that arise in my work around sexuality, intimacy, relationships, and sexual well-being. Topics that many people quietly struggle with, but rarely talk about openly. If you'd like to learn more, explore related blogs, or inquire about online sex therapy across Australia, you can visit my website at wellbeingcounsellor.com.au. You can also subscribe for future conversations about sexuality, intimacy, relationships, and emotional well-being.